This lecture is about empowering the woman, and it's based on an extensive literature review and 3 published articles published by myself. The most important hormonal issue for women is that estrogen declines. There is bleeding and burning sensations during intercourse, and there is also low self-confidence during that and also aging that leads to interpersonal conflict or neglect. In the pursuit of happiness, a lot of women attempt to resolve the psychodynamic roller coaster of aging by merely altering their vaginal physique. Laser RF vaginal rejuvenation studies claim female satisfaction. However, RF research reports success, but without achieving statistical significance. Some of these studies do not really use valid standardized instruments. For example, Allinson et al. Study 2017, they claim that 23 out of 25 subjects reported sexual satisfaction. However, that's only 92%, which is not significant. There are further issues. Only 9 out of 25 subjects, that's 36%, reported increased satisfaction regarding their orgasms, and 16 out of 25 subjects, 64%, which is above chance, said that there is no change. Laser reports also suggest success. However, it lacks statistical significance. The report's statistical significance is extremely high. However, then when you look at the study, they say it's only 92% of their subjects reported increased satisfaction by 0.8. This study, another study that also reported sexual satisfaction after laser, again gives a significance of 0.001. However, there's only 85% of their subjects that get normal sexual life. And very importantly, 26% of these women were not sexually active. So how could you possibly evaluate overall sexual satisfaction? There are other scientific research, and this is one of them that I'm quoting to the right, that focus on that they report that a focus that is exclusive on vaginal physique ignores age-related hormonal changes, depression, anxiety, quality of life, and also the effects of about 200 known hormones and psychological dynamic states, the complexity of sexual desire that involves health status, the central nervous system, neurotransmitters, cognition, attitudes, etc. There are side effects with laser RF vaginal rejuvenation, and a number of federal agencies, including the FDA, have recently issued warnings against such cosmetic procedures. Especially the FDA, they have 46 patients that reported pain. They had to seek medical care in urology, gynecology, in urology. They reported bladder disturbances, infections, scarring, dyspareunia, worsening of symptoms, and disfigurement. Another very important issue is that laser RF studies have methodological and validity issues, specifically on both internal and external validity. We're going to only be talking about the internal validity, instrumentation. There are several other, but I won't go through it. It's too many for this lecture. Now, the FSFI, that's what they use. Most of them is short, straightforward, and it's prone to denial. Poor self-awareness or plain lying. Some women may be primarily concerned with satisfying their partners, and that's why they say, I'm happy, because they're happy, their partner is happy. Women may conceal the truth due to a fear of disapproval, or because they blame themselves for their physical problems that persist despite the expensive intervention. So what we did is we administered the MMPI and we correlated the FSFI scores with the MMPI scales of the lie scale, the depression scale, and the hysteria scale. And what we found is that FSFI correlated very highly with the lie scale. So there was denial, or basically lying by saying that they were satisfied. Hysteria also correlated very highly with the FSFI. Basically, that was the outside appearance of the need for acceptance. The individuals always vibrant and pleasant, but inside there was depression that also correlated very highly with the FSFI. Now, when it comes to women, nothing is as it seems. So we confirmed the findings of the MMPI by the differential emotion scales, where we found 98% of these women were organized around the emotions of shame, sadness, and joy. So joy was the forefront, and inside there was sadness and shame. Now, a lot of questions demand answers. Will change in women's physique guarantee her happiness? Will vaginal rejuvenation improve quality of living? And what makes women insecure? Primarily is hormonal imbalance. And it's not about replenishing one hormone, it's about a harmonious interaction of hormones that work together. Cortisol can increase stress eating, free D3 decreasing can create weight gain. And the preventative perspective has to focus on the rate of differentiation within the normal range, and of course, other abnormalities that can happen as a result of being outside the normal range. A drop of estrogen can contribute to belly fat and obesity, for example. Metabolism slows down, so there's a decreased basal metabolic rate. We used a new technology from London University, and we showed that after 12 treatments, there was a significant increase in BMR and there was weight loss. There was also muscle mass increase. So that's why the weight loss was not as substantial. So because muscle weighs more than fat. BMR increase was 97.44%, quite high. And the weight loss was around 6.32 kilograms. Now, this same technology after 12 treatments, that's not a laser or an RF, it's a very different technology. We looked at visceral adipose tissue and free T3, and we found visceral adipose tissue decrease at 30.34% and free T3 increased by 30%. So metabolism was very much involved in it. 7 of these subjects underwent sonography reports before and after the 12 treatments, and they found that before there was fatty liver and after there was no fatty liver. We did another study recently with 11 subjects and we had the same results, no fatty liver following the treatments. Here is the significance tables. All of these values were significant for fat loss, skeletal mass increase, visceral fat loss, BMI decrease, fasting blood glucose and postprandial one and insulin as well. There was a substantial decrease, statistically significant. Upper abdomen reduction in cm was 965, umbilicus 1032 cm, and lower abdomen reduction 11.5. The weight were discussed, it's 458. Triglycerides was significantly decreased, and also there was an increase in HDL. Now, why is it that some of the results from lasers and RF on slimming rebound? The reason is that these technologies do not target leptin and ghrelin, and if there is an imbalance, the imbalance will increase the hunger. And leptin and ghrelin are appetite hormones. Basically, the food intake will increase the weight, again, will increase the toxicity. And we know now that, again, leptin is the anorexic hormone, ghrelin is the hunger hormone. We know now that basically toxicity will increase hunger because it interferes with these two hormones. Now, this study that we did, there's 3 recent published studies that documented increases in leptin and decreases in ghrelin. Unfortunately, laser and RF actually do the opposite. They increase hunger. Also, prolonged exercise increases hunger because it decreases leptin concentration by 32%. So here is the results. we have a leptin increase by 32.23% and a ghrelin decrease by minus 14.57 increase from this particular technology. And this is basically the blood results of leptin and ghrelin for each subject. You can see everybody had a difference. And this is the significance values for the LDL, triglycerides, 53, leptin, ghrelin, cortisol, testosterone, visceral adipose tissue, and skeletal muscle mass. They were all very statistically significant. So in the pursuit of happiness, in order to empower the woman, we must understand that female empowerment comes from self-confidence, inner balance that requires hormonal balance. We need to control weight and hunger. We need to increase metabolism, increase fitness, and reinforce self-assertion without the fear of judgment. So that's a psychological component there. So in conclusion, females are often in charge of keeping the family together. Therefore, success in interpersonal relationships depends on female satisfaction and female improved quality of life. So there is a caution to vaginal rejuvenation doctors in using the VSFI. It could be insufficient in assessing the richness of female dynamics. Therefore, the conclusions they draw that their patients are very happy from it may in fact be false or invalid. And this is our current medical core that and many upcoming projects. And with this, I would like to thank you very much. Any questions, you may email science@ios.com. Thank you very much.